Hello and welcome to Read It with Whiskey, the place to be if you are a sci-fi or fantasy reader. My name is Laura and I am your host. I am a reader, writer, and whiskey drinker. And today is a bonus episode. I am so excited to have this topic on the chopping block for today. So today's topic is another reading challenge. If you missed the last bonus episode, definitely hop on over there. You can learn about the Epic Summer Challenge reading I did, or Epic Summer Reading Challenge. There you go. Anyway, today we are also going to be talking about reading challenges, but in a different spin to it. I created a reading challenge around NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. How can you have a reading challenge around a writing challenge? Explain yourself, Laura. All right, I will. Here we go. Reading is my escape. Reading is a reward that I give myself. I love to read. I love to read all genres. Most of the time I'm reading sci-fi and fantasy, obviously, but I do love reading, and it's something that I do that just lights me up, makes me enjoy life a little bit more. So for the month of November, I know that I'm going to be wanting to read a lot. However, I am participating in this little challenge called NaNoWriMo. And if you haven't heard of NaNoWriMo before, it's National Novel Writing Month. It's just shortened down to NaNoWriMo because that is a mouthful. So in this month of November, National Novel Writing Month, you are challenged as a writer to write 50,000 words in these 30 days. And that is a big feat. It takes a lot of time, and I am a procrastinator. I procrastinate on so many different things, and because of that, I'm actually going to use reading as a tactic to make sure that I am writing. So this is my NaNoWriMo reading challenge. That's what I've coined it because that's what it is. So essentially, I'm going to be challenging myself to write at least 1,600 words a day in order to reach that 50,000 word mark at the end of the month. And I'll talk about my writing project in an upcoming episode. Don't worry. So how am I going to motivate myself to actually write every single day, especially when I want to procrastinate and do other things and just completely avoid the project? Because even though I absolutely love writing, I definitely push it to the back if I am stuck, if I am worrying about something or a character or don't know how to tie up loose ends. I'll just push it away and I won't work on it because I'll feel overwhelmed. I'll get anxiety. And I hate that I'm making this challenge for myself, but at the same time, I really think it's going to work. So I am challenging myself in order to write this 1,600 words every day that I am not allowed to read a book until I finished my writing goal for that day. This is intense because I read multiple times a day. I read a little bit in the morning with my coffee, I'll read on my lunch break, and I'll read in the evening before bed. And any time in between there when I have time, I'll read. And I will also listen to audiobooks while I'm doing chores. Like I always have something going on that's probably not healthy. But anyway, I am not allowed to read until I have finished my word count for the day. And the theory behind this is that even if it is really crappy words, at least I'll have gotten words down and get me closer to that ultimate writing goal for the end of the month. I know there will be days when I really don't want to write, and not being able to read is going to push me to get at least a few words down. So I'm going to have a minimum. I have to hit at least 500 words a day in order to read. And I think this will actually motivate me and push me to write a lot faster and a lot earlier in my day as well. So my goal is to get up every single morning bright and early, like 5, 6 a.m. and write for at least an hour. And that will guarantee to get me at least 500 words. I want to push myself to get at least that 1,600 words a day, but at least 500 should be fine because then on the weekends I can push to write a little bit more. Plus, this is a new project, so I'm sure I will be really excited and I should be able to pump out a couple thousand words every once in a while. Anyway, so 500 words a day will give me the ability, that reward where, hey, I can read a book. So that's my NaNoWriMo reading challenge for the month of November. And I would challenge you to do something like this in your own life. If there is a task that you have been trying to implement into your life, if there's a habit you want to start, maybe stop reading until that habit has been accomplished for the day. A great example for this would be working out. I actually used to use this back in the day. I would make myself work out first thing in the morning before I could move on to my passion project or my reading list. And so I know this works. So maybe you really want to get in shape, or maybe just want to be more active. You want to get more steps in every day. Have that be your challenge. Make that happen before you can start reading. Or maybe it's having a clean kitchen sink before you're allowed to read. That's a really good one. Something I actually should probably start doing. So maybe that's your focus for the month. Whatever your task is, just get it done before you read for the day. So yeah, going for a walk, doing the dishes, washing the cat or child, anything like that. Get the task done before you start reading. And this actually comes from Eat That Frog, that book. I can't remember the author's name now. Basically, making sure that you get rid of the biggest task first, and then you can do all of the other little things. But that big task is the most important thing. So for me, for the month of November, that's going to be writing. For you, it might look a little bit different. And I know you're wondering, what's the reward I get if I succeed for the whole month of November? Well, honestly, my reward is probably going to be that I write 50,000 words. That is my ultimate goal. And if I only read a couple books throughout the month while I'm doing this, that's okay with me. But the ultimate goal for this month of November, through my reading goal or reading challenge, is actually to write. So it's kind of opposite. But I've decided at the end of the month, if I do reach my writing goal, I win NaNoWriMo, I'm going to buy myself a NaNoWriMo t-shirt. That has always been my goal, or my prize, I guess, for the end of the month. If I succeed, I get myself a t-shirt because I love new t-shirts and I love NaNoWriMo shirts. So that's going to be my prize. So I would challenge you to come up with a prize as well. If you can do 30 days, all the days of November, with doing this little challenge, then reward yourself, because we really should be celebrating our wins more often, right? And next week here on Read It with Whiskey, you do not want to miss it. We're going to be talking to Lane Northcutt, the author of The Delivery Company. The Delivery Company is YA, but it's a little bit dark, and I love it. I am here for it. So definitely tune in next week when we talk with Lane. I'll talk to you then. You've been listening to an episode of Read It with Whiskey. I'm your host, Laura Juntunen, and I want to personally say thank you so much for listening. Your support of the podcast means so much to me, and I would love to get to know you. Hop on over to Instagram and follow us at Read It with Whiskey. Please chime in on this episode's post, share it on your social media and with your friends, and come back next time to hear more from self-published authors. I'll talk to you soon.